When I see a younger person than me, namely someone who just graduated from high school, who are moving away from home for the first time, getting your own car, enrolling in university, getting a job, I don't know, I just want to pinch their cheeks. You are so cute. You're my little baby. You are an extension of my own being, and you will remain that way because, yeah, that's how I see you. You're still a child to me. And so I have a lot of compassion for our young people. And I just want to let you know that I've been there, man. I've been a little kid, 18-year-old kid who just graduated from high school, wanting to make a mark on this world. And life was challenging, man. You don't know what the hell you're going to do. You just finished school. Now what? Uni? Yeah, sure. You don't even know your purpose. So I just want to let you know that I love you. It's not the end of the world if you mess up something. It's not the end of the world, okay? You're still young. You have your whole life ahead of you. So keep at it. Do not give up. When I was 18, I moved away from home for the first time. And technically, I'm already moving away from home at the age of 10 because I came to Australia, but this was the first time that I left my parents' care. My parents are no longer next to me, breathing down my neck. Son, you got to do your homework. By the way, you got to take out the trash. By the way, did you pay for the uni tuition? No, they weren't around to do any of that. I was all by myself with my housemates, complete strangers at the age of 18. It might not sound like a big deal to you, but it was a big deal for this sheltered kid who has always had his parents around him at all time. His parents, his sister, everybody always around him, telling him what to do. Hoi, this is what you need to do next. Now I'm by myself at the age of 18 for uni. So I came down to this little island called Tasmania. It's a small island state of the big island that is called Australia. And when you are in an isolated community such as this, you tend to run into a lot of nepotism. Nepotism is a word that is used to describe the unfair treatments in employment, when people employ workers based on the connections that they have with other people within this organization rather than the skills that they possess. And say whatever you want, but based on my observation, this is true. Employers, they always hire someone they know better, someone who lives here, someone who knows the people in this area rather than someone who has skills. And so I went into my study with this mindset, and everything turns out to be true. Employers do in fact hire people they know rather than some random kid from Vietnam who came to Australia at the age of 10 and now he's down here to study in Tasmania. We don't know this kid. We don't even know if he's dangerous or not. Anyways, job seeking was very hard as an international student. Firstly, I didn't have a car. Secondly, the transport system here in Tasmania suck balls. I'm going to say that again. It suck balls. If you don't have a car here, it's over, man. No, it's not over. You can still ride your bike. The city is not that big. I'm just making excuses, but it was hard to get a job. So I now understand why I chose to do certain things in the past. Whereas now when I look back, I would be saying, oh, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. All of that, going through all that trouble, going to this job, working here, for what? It's not worth it. But back then I was a child still, even though I was 18. And I posted an ad on Gumtree looking for a job. Hi, everybody. My name is Hoi. I'm 18. I came down to Tasmania to study at university. I don't really have a lot of experience other than working in a grocery store when I was 14. If you have any job available, please don't hesitate to contact me. I am available most days, other than the days that I had to go to uni, and I'm willing to do anything. I signed off there. First couple of responses, great. And then you get a lot of weirdos asking me, hey baby, do you want to suck my you know what for a bit of extra cash on the side? I guess I was pretty, I don't know, innocent looking, pretty beautiful with my long hair and my skinny frame. Maybe some people thought that I was easy to take advantage of. But yeah, I didn't accept any of those jobs. But yeah, this Chinese merchant, he found me on Gumtree. And back then, Gumtree was sort of big. It's kind of dead now, but Gumtree was back in the days. And this guy, he messaged me. He's a Chinese man. He said, do you want to come for an interview at our restaurant? And are you willing to start immediately? And so I was so happy. Yes, finally, I can get a job. This is my chance. So I went in there, sat down for an interview, which lasted 5 minutes. I showed them my resume, and then, yeah, I agreed to start immediately the next day. And they did tell me that your starting salary will be kind of low, but in accordance to the award rate. So they are barely making the minimum wage as listed on the salary rates for kitchen hands. So yeah, I worked as a kitchen hand for a while. The job itself was hard. The fact that this guy, the main head chef, and he's also doing all of the training, there's no recruitment, officers, none of that. No contract signing, nothing. Just rock up, there you go, start work immediately. I started off washing the dishes, and then they started giving me more tasks, more responsibilities. I was a casual worker, but I didn't know what that meant back then. It basically means whenever they call you, you gotta rock up to work. Doesn't matter. You cannot make excuses. I didn't know back then that these people, these small businesses, they can replace me whenever they want to because they don't have a training team. They don't pay anyone to train me. They basically give me 3 shifts and that's it, you're on your own. There were many times in which I messed up the order. I forgot how to prepare this dish, and man, he had a temper. The head chef, he has a terrible temper. Every time I mess up, he would yell at me. And one time I remember going on Google to search up this restaurant and looking at the Yelp review. A lot of comments were made in regards to the customer can hear the chef yelling in the background. And that's why they gave the restaurants such a low rating. Anyways, I kept working there. I kept telling myself, oh, if I keep grinding, I'll be able to save enough, and then I'll be able to buy a car, and I don't have to rely on my parents anymore. That's what I told myself back then as a full-time uni student. Studying hard, also working very hard, much harder than studying itself. Someday I return home after work feeling stressed out, feeling so depressed. How could I go on with my study when work is stressing me the hell out? Anyways, I kept working there for a year because I told myself, oh, those workers, those new workers, they couldn't make it. They couldn't handle it. But I'm different. I'm built different. I'm built for this job. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to work. Because that's me. You can't fire me. I am irreplaceable. And it's true. I've been around for so long that it's kind of hard for them to fire me because they would have to train another person again. But I didn't know that back then. I didn't know that we could be replaced so easily. And yet I stuck by that place. I kept working. I kept getting abuses from the head chef. Every time I muck up, he would tell me all these insults, telling me, oh, if you're so shit, don't bother going to work. I'm not gonna pay you if you fuck up again. I can't believe I took all of that as a obedient little 18-year-old boy. One day I've got fed up of it and I cried. I literally cried with tears streaming down my face. I yelled back at the boss, why didn't you tell me that? I know I made a mistake. Tell me how I can fix it. I literally screamed at him. He just laughed at me, and then at the end of the day, like he didn't make a big deal out of it. We just sort of brushed it off and didn't address it any further. And I still keep that event close to my mind up to today. Like I'm still thinking about it from time to time. Why didn't I stand up for myself? Why did I let them walk all over me? At the end of the day, it's a job, but your employees deserve to be treated better. And that's why every time now when I go to restaurants, I always be extra nice to the kitchen staffs, because I know how hard it is. Maybe it was a cultural difference. Maybe because I worked for an Asian merchant, someone who is close to my culture. Maybe they think of me as their little child, as part of their family. That's why they can blur this boundary between work and personal life. They can call me whenever they want me to work. It doesn't matter, because I'm a casual worker. They can call me and I'm expected to be there. And if I have a reason, they're gonna be mad at me for saying I have to go to school. Yeah, they treated me like one of their little kids, basically. But it is what it is, man. I feel them. I feel for those people, because they are also immigrants like me, coming into this foreign land and being walked all over by the locals. So I would understand their frustration, and they would have internalized a lot of this racism. And then when the opportunity arises, they pick on the little people, the young, innocent, impressionable, gullible 18-year-old college students, international students who had nothing on their backs, surviving on their parents' money for uni tuition. And yeah, they can pick on us, because who else can they pick on? So I'll forgive you, chef, I'll forgive you, boss. That's what happened. Now, as I'm growing up, I'm gonna treat those kids with a lot of love, because I love you guys. I know it's hard out there, but trust me, once you graduate, once you find that sweet spot in life, you're gonna be much better. And I'm gonna be around. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be extra nice to you when I come to eat at your restaurants. Unfortunately, Corona happened, and this Chinese restaurant, because they are Chinese, they got a lot of, negative reviews. He actually went out of business, and now they've changed their business. If you're watching this, God bless you. I do not hold any grudges against you. I feel sorry for you, actually. As always, guys, stay strong. God bless. I love you. And yeah, don't be resentful. It is what it is. Keep grinding, keep hustling, keep fighting. It's not the end of the world. You're still young.